looking forward to the most at PCB West?
Making new connections, seeing some old friends, seeing some people that I haven't seen in a while and reconnecting. It's always great to meet new people and, of course, connect with old people when you go to these kinds of conferences, and you always learn something new. What are you looking forward to seeing at this conference?
I'm looking forward to reconnecting and seeing a lot of people in the industry. I didn't get to come last year. I mean, go through the list of who's who experts in our industry, and they're here.
Exactly.
Hi, my name is Inga and welcome to PCB West.
This customer worked in his backyard and he created a Bluetooth capturing device.
Okay.
Where you know how your cell phone and your car emitting Bluetooth signals.
Yes.
So this captures it.
Wow.
So you know how you used to go through a pipe and the sign would say you were going over 35 or 40?
Yeah.
This basically replaces that.
You guys are a advocacy group working on policy and working primarily with a number of the larger companies to help drive the conversation towards supporting the domestic printed circuit board ecosystem. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we started 3 years ago with 5 member companies. We're up to 37, but of course we got to get bigger before we get bigger. And what we do is spend most of our time educating, advocating, and legislating on behalf of American printed circuit board manufacturers and substrate manufacturers, as well as critical materials suppliers, specialty chemical companies, pretty much anybody that's in the microelectronics ecosystem outside of semiconductors. We're fighting for those folks in DC.
Yeah, that's the capacitance being placed.
Maybe a more controversial question. Will AI replace PCB designers?
Absolutely never. We've been dealing with auto routing since what? The early 80s, and they still haven't gotten it right. So we're good. We're good.
We are here at PCB West with
Lauren Waslick. I'm the Director of PCB Design at Newgrange Design.
And what exactly do you do, Lauren?
I oversee our PCB Design department, of which there are about 30 designers split across 3 different teams.
And what is one interesting thing about your company?
One thing I love about Newgrange Design is that we have a really high presence of women in the company. On our design team, about 34% of our designers are women, and our leadership team, 50% is women.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about SVTronics.
SVTronics, so we're a full-service EMS. We do mainly high mix, low volume. Due to the products that we manufacture, which are going to be more industrial, aviation, aerospace, space, a lot of industrial controls for nuclear power plant control systems, etc., and then also the semiconductor industry, which is one of our larger companies we work with.
What exactly do you do, Monica?
I'm the Corporate Marketing Manager for Emerald EMS.
Any advice for someone who's interested in this field?
Yes, electronics manufacturing is an excellent industry if you want to get your foot in the door. You get exposure to many different facets of the product development cycle and also to many different industries in electronics.
So you are part of a panel, or you had a panel talk, I believe this morning, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We talked about bringing up the next generation of PCB designers. What are we going to do to kind of turn around what I refer to as the huge vacuum of the sucking sound that's coming from our industries. And that is the talents leaving the front door, and how do we replenish those designers, which is really, I mean, I know that's where my heart is and that's where yours is to train the new generation of designers coming up. And we have some exciting things that we're doing, not just at Altium, but also at the college level of training brand new PCB designers, also now breaking into high schools and training sophomores, juniors, seniors in the high school level and teaching them PCB principles and how to do a printed circuit board.
I think it's widely understood that there is a low supply of women in this field. There's demand, I think, now these days, and there's a recognition that, well, frankly, there's just a lack of people to work in the U.S. electronics industry. So organizations that like this, like SMTA, and then initiatives like this, I think are very important. So maybe tell us a little bit more about the Women in Leadership program.
Absolutely. So Women Leadership program was started back in 2016. There was a program that was already existing at SMTA. We just formally started it, hosting talks, inviting women from industry formally in 2016. And the idea was actually to bring together all the women who were coming in the conference to give them a platform to come present their work and feel a part of the group. And usually what happens is when I go to a conference, it is very hard for me to find a lot of women because they are probably just busy with their planned agenda. And this program was organized to make sure that we can all come together and network with each other. And all the men in the industry, they were also invited so that we could find sponsors, mentors, and just benefit from each other's experience and get guidance.
So what's the biggest growth area you've seen recently in terms of markets or industries that you guys serve?
It's interesting. 5 years ago, we probably did a handful of designs in the satellite industry. Okay. And over this past year, probably a year and a half, satellite technology has just found us because of what we do, because of our expertise in high-speed, high-performance design, RF, high-speed digital, shielding, all those things have just led them to find us. So, and I think I see that continuing.
What's the craziest counterfeiting job you've seen? Whether it was really good or really bad?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, kind of common one we saw maybe a year ago or so it'd be a whole reel of parts, and when you X-ray them, like a quarter or half of them just have no die at all. It's just an empty plastic package, but they're randomly sprinkled in across the whole reel. So if you X-ray the first few, you're like, great, no problem at all. And then if you do 100% inspection, you're like, oh no, this is really bad. And so that's a really common one that we've seen, unfortunately.